All right, everybody, welcome to the Diacero Wireline Mixer, and this is our special episode. This is a Wireline special series of the World Oil Deep Dive podcast that we're doing. And right now, as our guest, we have Trey Clark, the Vice President of Wireline Products. Trey, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jim. It's great to be here.
All right. So I always like, when I start, to have you say a little bit about how you got to your position today. So give us a little background of your history in the business.
Sure. So it's just over 25 years in oil field service industry. I actually started my career as a field engineer. That's actually working on drilling rigs, doing that type of work. And after doing that for several years, worked my way up into operations management and just having a wanderlust and wanting to see the world. I got the opportunity to work in all different parts of the world, and one thing led to another. A lot of different roles within Baker Hughes at the time.
Oh, okay.
So 20 years with Baker, and 20 fantastic years.
Nothing bad to say about Baker.
No, and no, not at all. No, I have a lot to credit for Baker for where I am today. So left that company as an executive. Had the opportunity and the pleasure to work with Halliburton for another 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Departed Halliburton just over a year and a half ago to become president and CEO of a small company called Probe.
Right.
Probe was a supplier to all of those companies, to Baker, to Halliburton, to Weatherford, and many others. And so I've known them as a supplier, a technology-related company that I have a lot of admiration for. And so when the opportunity came to get to work with that team, I took it.
Right.
And just that reign lasted for just under a year. And what I mean by that is, very thankfully, we drew up a partnership and rapport with one of our customers, Weatherford, and one thing led to another. And Weatherford acquired both Probe Technologies and Impact Selector. These are two companies.
Oh, right, yeah, Impact Selector.
These are two companies under Turnbridge Capital, managed by that private equity firm. So Weatherford strategically made this decision to acquire these companies, and here I am. So now I've joined the Weatherford team. It's a strange twist of fate.
Right.
But my motivation is to make sure that this acquisition is successful. I want to make sure this new venture, which we call Wireline Products, is successful. Most importantly, the people of both Impact Selector and Probe. I want to make sure that they're off to a great start, and that together we're all creating value for our customers and for Weatherford.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And just to give a little description for the folks who can't see, because you guys are looking at us, but I'm looking directly at the back of the Weatherford Wireline Products stand, and it is massive. You guys got the biggest stand here. Now, that's because of the acquisitions, right?
This is a benefit of when one of the sponsors of this fantastic event, Diacero, acquires two of the other sponsors of this event. And so together, we've got quite a big footprint. But this is a fantastic investment. So every year we've been a proud sponsor of Diacero. And we expect that to continue because this is really a great event for our industry.
Yeah, it's interesting. I just started my education on wireline, if you will, maybe a month and a half ago, and so it was great.
Yeah.
I had a lot of, because I talk with a lot of companies, I was able to go to like a wireline manufacturing facility and do some very interesting things. But for me, like when I started learning about it, right, the thing is this is a very important part of the oil and gas business, right?
Yeah.
Everything that happens on wireline. Mm-hmm. And yet, when I asked people, I said, is there an event? Is there something? Is there a technical show? What is that? And everybody said the Wireline Mixer.
That's right.
That's the event, right?
Yeah.
And so here we are all together.
Exactly.
But why do you think that is that, wireline is like the redheaded stepchild of the oil and gas industry? I mean, it's an important part of the business.
It's critical to the business. So to touch on a couple themes there, this event is really fantastic. This week really is, the foundation is OTC Houston, of course, right? The big conference, one of the biggest in the world. And but if you go to that conference, you're going to see everything. I mean, not just the latest in subsea completion technologies and artificial intelligence driven software.
Right.
Then right next door, you've got the rope soap and pipe dope,
Right, exactly.
folks. It's just this huge smattering of everyone. And so what evolved over time was this particular event was the group for the redheaded stepchildren of us, the wireline folks, to get together. And so this is a weird blend of trade show and really social event.
Yeah.
This ends up becoming the annual reunion for the wayward Wireline people to come together, share in a couple beverages, and catch up on what's going on. And it's really valuable in terms of getting a pulse on the industry because, to your point, Jim, Wireline is important. We touch every phase of oil and gas production.
Right.
From the time that the well's being planned, you'll see Wireline folks there, doing reservoir modeling and pre-job planning. And then when the well's drilled, we have evaluation services. Later, when it's time to complete the well, our plug and perf buddies come in and do perforations, for example. And then on it goes the well integrity, well intervention. When the day finally comes to put that well to rest, we have a P&A services. So,
absolutely, yeah.
The drillers out there, they like to think they rule the roost. They've got all the muscle. All they do is drill holes, And they're just there for a finite period of time.
Exactly.
And the artificial lift people, they think they rule the roost, but, they have to wait till all the rest of us are done there at the end. So I like to think Wireline's pretty special in that we're touching every phase of oil and gas production from start to beginning.
Now, for me, it's been super impressive in my education, really, to find out how involved Wireline is in so many different parts, that you just iterated on. But what, so you guys are here, you guys have a huge stand, you have actual equipment on there.
Right.
Do you have any new tech that you're showing off?
Yeah, so several. So when I mentioned that Weatherford had brought together and acquired Probe Technology as an impact selector, what's most meaningful and what's important right now in the short term, in a couple months we've been together, is we've taken 3 portfolios,
right,
which were different. In some cases, weren't accessible to our customers, and now it's all put together. So most meaningfully for our business, we offer the broadest portfolio of wireline technologies in the industry. In addition to that, with Weatherford and with their financial backing, it's really helping us accelerate new product introduction. So yes, we have some of the latest technologies on display, ultrasonic technologies which are used in zonal isolation. So it's making sure that the well has good integrity.
Right.
In addition to, we'll be speaking to folks tonight about upcoming product launches around multi-barrier corrosion services.
Oh, wow.
So, and again, the emphasis of a lot of these product launches is how do we keep the well living longer?
Right.
How do we ensure that the well is functioning correctly in a safe manner? And that because that's the phase that we're in industry right now.
Right. I mean, that is the trend, right? I mean, with reduced capital expenditure, those are easy extra barrels to get.
Yes.
If you can go in and fix any problems or make the situation better down the hole. Mm-hmm. And that's Wireline, right? I mean, Wireline's going to be involved with all of that.
That's what we do. We're like a Swiss Army knife. So we've got a little tool for just about any application. So whether it's helping find where oil and gas is or not, where it isn't, and also we have applications of geothermal. How do we...
geothermal, too.
No, certainly. And then
same idea, reservoir, checking the rock and seeing what's going on down there.
Absolutely. So I was just in Hungary a few days ago meeting with customers, and that was a discussion is how do we deploy the sensors that were originally developed for oil and gas. Now we're using these same sensors and same technology to help construct wells for geothermal applications, also for carbon capture and sequestration applications, too.
Yeah, it's amazing. All of that, all of that new technology, that green technology, if you will. It's amazing how we're already experts in this industry in most of that, right?
Yes.
So why wouldn't we be involved with it? And, for me, I think it's odd because we kind of get a black eye for being, you guys are the hydrocarbon guys, you guys are tearing stuff up. And yet we're the solution too at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And everybody you see, whether it's wireline folks, drilling folks, everybody, they're looking for those other angles because we have the expertise already.
I agree.
So,
without getting preachy or too political, no, I think it's important for all of us in the oil and gas industry to recognize we have a role to play and we should embrace energy transition.
Absolutely.
And then for those who are dreaming of a day of being hydrocarbon free, I applaud those dreams, but I think there's also needs to be acknowledgement that it's a transition which happens over time.
Yeah.
And that in some cases, some of the products that we derive from oil and gas are very difficult to replace, and will take time to do so.
Absolutely.
But I think the more we run towards the issue as an industry and embrace it, the better for all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because it's always amazing to me, people who aren't involved in the industry, how little they know about what we do for energy transition as well, right? And, I think we should be, touting that a lot more.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the foundation of our industry is ultimately about making people's lives better through the generation of energy. Because without energy, we'd still be hanging out in caves.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Ultimately.
Yeah. So is there anything else you wanted to cover before we sign off here?
Oh, nothing other than, Jim, appreciate the time. Really appreciate the sponsor of the ACERO and others who have sponsored here. This is a fantastic event. It's a great opportunity to catch up, and I look forward to catching up with you and others tonight.
All right, Trey. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.